Hi guys, Henry Har here, and with me, helping to bring the horror is my co-host as always, Mr. Johnny Noise.
What's up, brother man? Hey guys, we got a really cool show for you today. Uh, I'll let Henry do all the introductions. So sit back, turn the volume up, and let's get it on.
Yes, today we have singer, songwriter, author from the Empire Hideous, Mr. Myke Hideous. Thanks for being on our show,
Welcome to
Mike.
the
How
show,
you
brother.
doing?
Thank you. Hello, guys. How are you? Thanks for the very kind introduction.
Oh,
No
you're welcome,
problem.
sir.
You're very welcome. So, first and foremost, where did you come up with the name Myke Hideous? It's an awesome name.
All right. So, when I first started my band, the Empire Hideous, I used to go under the name of Mike Zone, Zone. And actually, no, that's a lie. I stand corrected. Actually, it was Mike It's a Zone, Itzone. And then eventually I shortened it to Zone. But It's a Zone, I took from a comic book, a horror comic book, many fucking decades ago. I don't even remember what it was. It might have been from Creepy Magazine. I can't remember. But there was a character called It's a Zone. So I called myself Mike It's a Zone at the time in 1988, 1988, 89, give or take. I used to go. There was a in where the fuck was it? In Clifton, New Jersey. There was a bagel shop that I used to go to. We used to call it the Punk Rock Bagel Shop. All these punk rockers used to work there, and I used to go there because I always liked looking at the girls. So I used to go there like every Sunday and get like a dozen bagels, and I'd bring them back home to my family. But I'd go there, I was young and hanging out and having a good time, and me and my friend would go down and we'd get bagels. The guy that owned the guy who owned the bagel shop, his name was Dean. I still talk to him to this day,
Oh wow.
and he was in a band at the time called Backseat Driver, kind of a punk metal band at the time. But he grew up with all the greats, the Dead Boys, Public Image Limited. What else? What else? Sisters of Mercy, The Mission. Like he loved all the great stuff. And so going in there as often I did. Now, mind you, my band was still just starting out. I don't think we played our first show, and I was bringing him. I started bringing him flyers for when the first gig was coming about. And eventually, as time went by, he associated me with, as Mike from Empire Hideous. And then it became Myke Hideous. So I owe my name to the owner of Plaza Bagels, as it's called. Plaza Bagels
Oh wow.
in Clifton, New Jersey, right off of, was it Main Street? I can't remember. I think it was Main Street. I can't remember. But yeah, he's still there to this day. In fact, I had a brief interaction with him on text message not too long ago because I was out in Jersey a couple of last month, as a matter of fact. So yeah, this guy's still going strong. It's not really a punk rock bagel shop anymore, but yeah, he was good friends with oh shit, what's his name from D Generation, Jesse, the lead singer from D Generation, and was also an owner of the New York City club Coney Island High before it closed down.
Oh
Anyway, that's the
wow.
story. That's the story how I
Wow.
became
That's you got
Mike
the.
Hideous.
So is that? I'm thinking that bagel shop. We used to go when we first started Morning Noise. We do our rehearsals and we play
Hold
a
on,
little.
stop right now. You were in Morning Noise,
Yeah, yeah. Steve and I started that band in my grandmother's basement. Correct. Yeah.
and you played. What
I
did you play?
I played guitar.
You played guitar.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
did not put that together.
Right.
Because I saw your name, Johnny
Right.
Noise, mentioning that you were from Lodi.
Right.
By the way, folks, this all took place prior to this us actually talking, but I didn't put that together. So now I know who you are. Are you on the 45?
Correct. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I know who you are. I actually have your music on my computer.
I'm sorry. No, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm on the we did the full album, okay, for like 33 somewhat songs back. We were kids. And then we did the 4 songs, the At the Seville, 45. And that was
I only had the 45. I didn't have the album.
the 45 was the last of my official recordings with the band. But yeah, so we literally started that when we were kids, and one thing led to another. Went on all through between junior high and high school, and this, that, and the other. And I just decided I was going to, join the Navy. I was like, what am I going to do? I tried to get into college for photography or something like that. I couldn't, whatever. So I joined the military, and I was in for like 22 years. So now I'm back in it again.
Thank you for serving our country. I respect
thank you
very much. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So now I'm back doing, the noise thing. I started my own band here, Crimson Carry, yada yada. But yeah, that's me. That's me.
Okay.
So,
Well, you know what? I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I had
no, you're good.
I had to figure that out when you said, doing the band. It didn't register with me, but now, wow, what a coincidence. Very
Yeah.
interesting. So I completely interrupted you when you were asking me a question. So please carry on.
Trend of thought I think is gone. Oh, we're talking about the bagel shop.
Right.
So I can recall as a band, we would go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Okay. Who didn't back then? Everybody, you go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And then we used to go get bagels. Now, I'm not sure if that was because it was open late. We used to get out there, after midnight, I think. And I'm not sure if that's the place. I'm trying to recall where it was.
I don't think it is.
Maybe it was somewhere else. But it was full, because you said it was full of all punk, kind of punk people. Now, I remember when we,
80s.
yeah. I mean, of course, that was kind of everywhere. But I remember going to that bagel place. And again, it was full of, all your punkettes, so to speak, and us, of course, and whoever. But I thought maybe that was the correlation. I was trying to put 2 and 2 together, so to speak.
I really couldn't tell you. As I said,
Right.
I know it was in Clifton, right off the main drag, which would used to take you up to Route 46. And,
Okay,
I know it's called Plaza Bagels.
Right.
I don't know how long Dean owned it or has owned it for.
Okay.
But there's a possibility it could be the same one. But if I remember correctly, they used to close at around 5, 6 o'clock.
Oh no, yeah, this was late. This was late.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't remember exactly, where or what have you, but I remember it was at we would religiously go see the Rocky Horror Picture Show and go get bagels afterwards, covered in popcorn and water and God knows what else they would throw around in there, DNA. But yeah, so that I was just trying to piece it together, but yeah, so cool. Anyway, stories from Jersey, ladies and gentlemen.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
You fucking asshole. What the fuck?
Yeah, look, if you don't go to Lodi Pizza, go fuck yourself. That's it. But anyway.
Hey, you're from Jersey? What exit? What exit you from?
What exit? Yeah. Who are you? Unbelievable. I know Henry has some question. Before we go off on a Jersey.
What the fuck do you want, Henry? What the fuck?
What the fuck, man?
I don't know.
Jesus,
I'm starting to feel a little bit like Joyzy, and not from being San Antonio, Texas. Okay, so tell us a little bit about the origins of Empire Hideous.
Well, in a nutshell, I was doing artwork back in the mid and late 80s. I had some health problems around 86, I think it was. And it was cancer. I had cancer. And after I had, it was pretty serious too. After I had gotten out of the hospital, I had to recover. It took me about 3 months to recover from the surgery I had on my spine. And I wanted to step up to another level of expression with my art. So instead of using a paintbrush, I wanted to use a microphone. And ultimately, what it come down to is I was 21 years old. And I had a friend of mine by the name of Don. And Don was a young kid. He was like, I was 21, he was 16. And one night I was hanging out by his cousin's house, this guy Rob, and we're all hanging out together. And they used to they used to take their guitars, bass and a guitar, and they'd plug the jacks into their stereo, into Rob's stereo. So they got I mean, it was absolutely the worst sound you could possibly imagine. But these two guys were absolutely amazing musicians, especially Rob on the bass. He was just fantastic. While I was there, hanging out with them one day, we were there smoking pot and we're getting stoned. And I noticed my friend Don, who I had been friends with for a very long time, and I noticed how well he was playing guitar. And so I asked him. I said, "Listen, I have this goal after having been in the hospital." I said, um, I want to write my own music and record it from my own prosperity, nostalgic state." And he offered to play guitar for me, and basically I wrote a total. I think it was a total of 12 songs, if I recall. I can't remember. It's been so long. But I wrote these songs on a cheap Casio keyboard, and we would record them. He would play guitar on a little tiny GK amp, and he had this cheap guitar, like this cheap Flying V guitar, and we would record onto my boombox on my radio, and I would write the songs. He converted them sort of to be from just a keyboard to like a little bit heavy with the guitar, and that's it. I recorded all these songs, and the next step was to find a second guitarist, a drummer, and a bass player. And so we found these three guys from South Paterson, New Jersey. We asked them to join up. Excuse me. Asked them to join up with us, and I had no intention on playing any gigs or playing out or anything. I just wanted to record these songs, and that was it. But so we began to rehearse. So we were rehearsing and rehearsing and rehearsing and rehearsing. Like I rehearsed these guys for a year of
Wow.
all the songs that we were going to play. And then eventually, as time was going by, people were asking me, "When are you going to play out? When are you going to play out?" I don't know. And little by little, we got to the point where um, we were asked to play gigs here, nothing big, just little gigs here and there. And we went into the studio. We recorded a total of one, two, three, four, five, 6 songs. And in the process of that all happening, we eventually did our first gig at a place called the Pipeline in Newark, New Jersey. And that's basically how it went back then, and that's how I started becoming a performer, a lead singer.
Oh
That's
wow.
that's awesome. What year did the first Empire Hideous release come out?
The first effort was released. It was a 12-inch vinyl. Had one, two, three, four, five songs on it, and self-titled EP, and that came out in 1990. Excuse me, cats, please. I'm trying to do an interview. Thank you. It's like kids. Yeah. So the first EP, the first 12-inch EP, came out in 1990, and it came out. Let's see. Golly, I think it came out in June, and my band had completely quit on me in March. So I had recorded all these songs, and the three guys who we hired as bass, guitar, and bass, second guitar, and drums, they all kicked me out. They're like, "We don't want to play for you anymore." I mean, I
Oh my
kept the
God.
name, obviously, but they were like,
Yeah.
You've turned what was once fun into work." Ultimately, they all went on to become plumbers and work in carpentry jobs and mason jobs, and I went on to become a lead singer for a band. They didn't have the focus like I did.
Yeah.
I'm not
Hmm.
saying anything bad about them. I'm just simply stating the fact that
Yes.
they were not as focused as I was. I wanted I wanted to get up here.
Yeah,
They
you had the focus and the goal.
Yes, they weren't. They didn't like me telling them what to do ultimately. And but when you're in a band, you need guidance and focus and a leader, and you need someone who's going to bring that, bring everybody to that level. And I was writing the music, booking the shows. I was pretty much doing everything, writing out the press kits. I had a handwritten mailing list, which eventually got to like 3,000 people, and I would write out newsletters and postcards and mail the fucking things like handwritten up until I
Yeah.
got to the point where I was eventually putting labels on them, but handwritten envelopes, with addresses on them, with the stamps, like licking these fucking things. Like I was doing everything on my own. I printed our own T-shirts. They did nothing.
Mm,
So when they were telling me you've taken what was fun and turned it into a job, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You guys do nothing except play in the band. And 90% of the time you show up late anyway. So what and you're fucking up. So what do you mean I'm turning it into work? You guys don't do shit except play your instrument of the songs
wow.
that I wrote. So so yeah, they quit, and then I ended up the I think it came out in June. I can't remember the exact date, but the 12-inch came out that year, and I had no band to back it up.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's crazy. So when you did finally get out and perform, did you run the whole New York, New Jersey like circuit, like CB's, Max's, Dirt Club, show play, stuff like that, or
Well, no. Our home away from home was the Pipeline.
Pipeline?
It
Okay.
was an alternative. Like I didn't really fit into heavy metal or extreme punk rock. We sort of became this gothic rock band that the club Pipeline, the Pipeline in New York, Newark, sorry, they were an alternative club, and they
Hmm.
played all kinds of underground music from Sisters of Mercy to Bauhaus to Ministry to Love and Rockets, and oh my God, the list goes on. So we wanted to play in alternative clubs, but there weren't very many around. So I never got to play the Dirt Club. As a matter of fact, as by the time I started going there, they closed down.
Oh
Uh,
shit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Johnny Dirt moved to Las Vegas. I don't even know if he's alive anymore, but
I don't think so.
yeah, poor guy. Um,
Yeah.
but there were very few places to play in Jersey. I know we played at Rutgers University. We played. Oh goodness, I don't even remember. It's been so long.
Yeah.
But I didn't get my first. The funny thing is, the first CBGB's gig we got right after we played that gig. 3 days later, my band quit.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, we did a few shows there. Max's Peanut Gallery. Uh,
Maxis was gone by the time I started a
oh
band
my
too.
God. Yeah, we did. But we were I don't want to say regulars. We played quite a bit at the Dirt Club. Johnny Dirt would be plowed. You know,
How was he not?
he was fuck. And at the time, when we started, we went through a series of band names, and at one time we were called Implosion.
Is that so?
So we had this, big explosion thing. Anyway, so Johnny Noise, but he'd be liquored up, whatever, and he'd go up, he introduced us. He goes, uh, "These guys, whatever." He goes, "Are the explosions?" We're like, "Implosion." That's what I said. The explosions. And he was so fucked up. So and then we did the morning noise thing. He was like, "This is morning noise in the morning," whatever, because he was just trashed. So
Funny guy, funny
he
guy.
was a fucking funny guy. Hey, we were kids. I mean, we were straight up kids when we
Yeah,
did all that
I
shit.
I think you might be a little older than I. If you
I
were
think I'm
playing
1 year
Max,
ahead of you from what
yeah,
I've read.
and you
Uh,
probably started younger too, because I didn't start until I was 21, 22.
I was in junior high when we started,
Ah,
initially started, and
there
all the
you
way through
go.
high school. We did our first little 45. I was in high school, and then ran that gamut, and then I took off after that. But we played
Wow.
a lot of different clubs. And we had to be, of course, we were underage. We needed an escort. You know, So there's either Steve's mom or my mother, somebody would have to bring us to the place because we could, we were kids. We're all in our black leather with the spikes and all that shit. And there's like my mom in a orange flower dress. It's fucking like, like holy shit. And
Hey,
she's looking at
hey, hey,
like,
Johnny, do you remember a place called Hitsville in Passaic?
uh,
Famous punk rock club.
yeah, I'm trying to recall. We did like Aldo's before
Aldo's, yeah, that
before it
was
came
before
before it became a dance club.
before it became a dance club. Yeah.
Right, I did Aldo's. Then when I came back to Jersey for a short stint. I got out before Desert Shield, Desert Storm, fucking bullshit. Then I went back on active after that. So while I was out, I was hanging out at Aldo's, at the dance club. So, but yeah, I'm trying to remember. We did so many different venues back. I just don't remember all of them. Uh, but I know what sticks out in my mind is like the show place in Dover. We did a few shows there. Nobody was there except for the bartender and two strippers on the bar, which was fine with me. I don't give a fuck. So, but some of the pictures on the album, I think one of the shots in there was my younger brother, who's now deceased, standing in front of the stage. And I knew it was the show place because the stage was so tall. And he was like 6'2", 6. He's a tall kid, you know. But like it was just one of those places you went on a whatever night and
I used to go. I used to go to the show place to see hardcore bands. I saw the Dead Kennedys.
Oh shit, yeah.
I saw the Dead Kennedys. I saw Slayer,
Oh,
Carnival.
okay, yeah.
This was like 1986, 85.
Wow.
Actually, no.
Yeah.
Let me back it up. Yeah, 85, 85. Also saw the Dead Kennedys there. Oh my God, two of the most brutal shows I ever saw were the Dead Kennedys and Suicidal Tendencies. Holy
Holy
Christmas!
shit.
I came back with bruises on my body.
Oh fuck yeah, man.
Back then, we did what was called slam dancing.
Slam dancing, stage diving.
Not thrashing, slam dancing, difference. And yeah, I used to love going down there. And then the last time I went down there, I went to go see a bunch of hardcore bands, and I got jumped by 20 skinheads. Like,
Oh fuck.
Oh
fucking,
shit!
yeah, they beat the fuck out of me. Um, it took the bartender to grab me by the collar and pull me over the bar for them to stop beating me.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole other story.
Whole other
But
fucking story, man.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw the Kennedys. I forget what theater they were at in New York. Probably 83 or 84, something like that.
oh
I
my
don't
God,
remember.
one of
But
the greatest hardcore punk bands
oh
I've
man,
ever seen in my
just
life were the Dead Kennedys.
I mean, you get this, full on theater, and these kids were diving off the fucking,
Oh,
the stage and the speakers, and just sometimes they hit the crowd, and sometimes they fucking splat on the
sometimes
floor.
sometimes you hit the crowd, and
Sometimes they
sometimes
hit
you
the
don't.
floor, man.
Let me tell you, man. When I saw the Dead Kennedys, the place was fucking packed. Murphy's Law opened up for them, and I didn't expect them to come out the way they did. So just imagine this: it's at the show place, and all these punks are they're sitting on the stage waiting for the band to start, and they just casually walk out, and then Jello Biafra walks out. His chest, okay, he had a hairy chest, but he shaved lightning bolts into his chest of the hair on his chest, and he walks out and just casually goes, "Get off the fucking stage. What are you at, a fucking Bruce Springsteen concert? Get off the fucking stage. What the name of..." Oh, man. It was
Holy shit.
intense. It was intense. Greatest punk show, hardcore punk show I
Hardcore
ever
punk
saw
show.
in my
Yeah.
life. Greatest.
I
Wow.
got a little bit of a story. I think I'm a bit younger than you guys. I'm almost nearly 50, but back
You're a
when I
kid.
was back when I was 93, I was 16 years old, and a buddy of mine came across town on the bus, knocks on my door, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man? What are you doing here?" Because he didn't call or nothing. He just showed up at my doorstep, and he says, "Hey, man, what are you doing tonight?" And I'm like, "Nothing." And he goes, "Well, you're coming with me right now. We're gonna take the bus back to my house. Brent and Carrie are gonna pick us up. And remember that band that we saw that video put out last week on Headbangers Ball? And I'm like, which one? And he's like, you know, the black and white one with the guy with the light in his face and black, 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 black number one. And I was like, yeah, I remember that. He goes, well, that band Typo Negative's playing in town tonight, and I already got us tickets at the showcase, which was a local club. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So we went to the show and we checked it out, and it was pretty badass. You know, they were all, you know, this was when Sal Abuscato was still their drummer too. And you know, Peter Steele comes out on stage and he's got this big jug of something or other, and he's drinking from it. He's like, "If you think we sound bad now, wait till we're drunk." And they played the show. I was blown away, and my friend was hell bent that he wanted to get an autograph from somebody, and I'm like, dude, there's no way that's gonna happen. No, no, let's go back around the club and see who's back there, you know. And I was like, dude, you're gonna get our ass kicked by the bouncers or somebody, dude. Like, it's not gonna happen. But of course, me and my friend Brent and we followed him around the club, and there was this big black tour bus parked back there, and the back door opens up, and it's kind of drizzling a little bit, and Kenny Hickey walked out. And my friend Nick goes, automatically, you know, hey, Kenny, hey, are you good for an autograph, man? And he looks at, and there was just the three of us back there. And he goes, you guys got a pen? And we're like, no, we don't have a pen. We wanted him to sign our ticket stubs. And he says, well, come on back here with us. It's raining anyway. He got security to let the three of us back there to hang out with the guys at Typo Negative and the guys from Life of Agony. And they were so cool at that. And we weren't even 20 yet. We weren't even 20 or 21. You know, we were 16, 17. I think Brent was probably 17. And they were great hosts. They signed our ticket stubs, our shirts, our shoes, you know, whatever we wanted signed. And Peter Steele was very polite. And
They were all like that.
yeah, I mean, they were
down to
just
earth,
so,
man. They never
yeah,
had an ego.
yeah. And so we saw them at that club, and a couple of months later, boom, they were you know, Typo was playing bigger. Every time they came into town, they played a place. Summer Breeze was being played on the radio all that summer. So I feel,
Peter already had the he already had the fame with Carnivore. Um, so doing Typo Negative was a secondary band for him, but it
yeah,
took off and it really did well. And it's because of the direction that they went instead of the hardcore metal that they were doing, the thrash metal. But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah. But that was a cool memory I'll never forget, and that's why I got the TON tattoo, was to commemorate that story, and also I got it after his unfortunate passing.
hmm
I was pretty bummed out when that happened.
yeah, everybody was.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so getting back to some of these questions. So, um, how does so you're doing the Empire Hideous? How does Spy 99 come about? Because that's totally its own thing.
Spy Society '99.
Spy
Yeah.
Society, yeah, 99, yeah.
Um, all right, so when I was in the Misfits for a short time that I was, Jerry had said to me, start writing lyrics because after the tour we're gonna make an album. So I began to write lyrics, um, and I came up. I can't remember exactly, like maybe 4 or 5 songs. I don't remember exactly. But when the whole Misfits thing fell through, I decided I wanted. I mean, I like when they kicked me out. I had nothing, no place to live, no job, no band. Everything I owned was in storage. Like I changed my whole life for them, so I had nothing. So I had to start up again. I had to literally had to start from scratch. Empire Hideous was no longer, and so I decided I wanted to do another band, and I started up Spy Society '99. I got a couple of musicians together that I knew, and prior to actually starting SS '99, when I was still doing Empire Hideous, I wanted to start something different on the side, and I was really influenced by jazz, lounge, big band, the great crooners of our time, and in the past. So I wanted to start something that was different. Like we dubbed the term death lounge is what we're or death
Death
punk
Lounge.
lounge. Yeah. So yeah, we I wrote these songs, and the guy who I wrote the music with, this guy by the name of Joe, he went by the name of Agent Special Agent Inovo, and he was a great guitar player, and we just kind of went with this kind of loungy sound, and it just sort of developed, and that was it. We used to come out wearing the suits and the ties and the sunglasses and pull our hair back, and we wanted to look like, yeah, exactly.
Holy shit. Yeah.
We wanted to look like we were a bunch of spies and secret agents. I personally think it was the I don't mean to brag here, but I personally think it was a great musical concept. The visual, the audio, I think it was a concept that was marketable. I think that the music was, foot tapping and just something that people would enjoy. Um, Sadly, we only had two musical record labels interest in us, and neither one of them signed us, and that was that. And then the
Oh
band
wow.
ended. We did our last show the day after 9/11.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that was the last show we played.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
is yeah.
I was
That's
because I was about to say when I got this, I opened it up right away, and I love the packaging, the whole everybody's like you said, everybody's special agent something, uh, you know, top secret information enclosed, you know, and you know, there you guys are with the placards and everything. I was like, this is fucking great,
Thank
and
you.
and
I really appreciate it because I think it's a great concept. I
and
really do. I hate to brag.
it was it was different than the Empire Hideous, and it was like,
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
yeah, and I was like, okay, this has got the swing. It's got the swing to it, you
Yeah.
know. And I really enjoyed it. I couldn't stop listening to it. That first day I got it, I heard it like back to back like three times in a row. So
Nice. Nice. The last three songs on that album were recorded at a later date. It's technically another EP. The CD itself is called Die Punk Die.
hmm
The last three songs are a bonus EP called Die Punk Die Now, and those were recorded on my own with studio musicians, um, and you can hear it like it's very, again, as I said, very jazzy, very loungy, and that's what I wanted. I love that band. I think it was a really good idea. Sadly, it never went anywhere.
yeah. Yeah. That's uh we went a personally me I went a similar route, not the spy thing, but leaving coming from a being predominantly a punk rock rhythm guitar guy. My whole genre was it was like, can you just downstrum the whole fucking song? And that was it. And after being out here and the morning noise thing kind of, I started to kind of fizzle out from that. Uh, I started a band called Crimson Carry right here in Alabama, which I didn't know there was even a scene out here. Like, where the I live on a freaking cattle farm. Where the fuck am I gonna play my music or do something? It's like I'm screwed, right? But in Huntsville, there is a pretty decent uh, punk scene, so to speak. And I met up with this guy Christian Youngblood from the Casket Kids reached out to me. So I met him at like a little Mexican restaurant, and started talking to him. I had no idea the scene was here. So then I put together. I was with them for a little bit. I played with the Casket Kids, doing punk, and then I decided, had the same kind of idea. Look, I want to try something different. Where else can I go with playing music? And that's where Crimson Carry came to be. And I got this female singer, and I got some other guys involved. So now we're at these punk shows, predominantly punk shows, with the goth kids with the white face and the fangs, the whole fucking 9 yards, thinking, and they're looking at us, and we're dressed pretty, pretty goth ourselves, I guess, and they're waiting for the fucking, fuck you, go kill yourself, you're screaming, and this girl belts out these fucking songs, and they were like, where did that come from? Like, and we did a couple covers. We did "What's Up" by Four Non Blondes. So you got these goth kids singing the chorus to this fucking song, going after they were just fucking slamming into each other like 5 minutes ago, So changing the music and changing what you do sometimes, is a good thing.
Well, you might say it's a good thing, but sometimes people don't like change.
Well, yeah, I heard that too. Yeah,
I can tell you firsthand.
Yeah.
People don't like if they see the lead singer of the Misfits, leave and some other guy comes in. I can tell you, there's a lot of hate that.
Sure.
Give you.
So. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And I've been told by some people too, as I'm doing all this stuff is, well, don't shy away from your quote unquote brand and this, that, and the other. I said, well, that's fine. But now the guy from LA Guns, the rhythm guitar player, he happened to live out here. Well, I didn't know, so we just hooked up. So I'm going to meet him out next Saturday. So I'm branching out into all these different areas, especially with this show. I don't want to keep it just. We've had all kinds of different people on. So I'm trying to kind of branch out with my music too to say, okay, what else can I do? I mean, my roots are punk. I'm a Sex Pistols, plasmatic fucking guy. That's in my DNA. That's how I grew up. But where can I go? What do I do? How do I take it to kind of a different area without losing myself? You know what I mean? Without losing my punk identity.
Well, I got news for you. We're getting old, so just deal with it.
Just deal with it. Fuck it. Pretty soon it's going to be fucking diapers and pudding. Here it comes, man.
It'll get to the point where one day you're going to be on an elevator, and then you're going to hear like I don't know, Sam Hain.
Yeah.
On the speaker, and you're going to be like, oh, when I was a kid, I remember
that song. when they started putting like old school punk songs on the fucking like you're waiting like for tech support, they're playing fucking music, and you hear like the Dead Kennedys. Okay, all right.
I got news for you. It's already gotten to that point. The Dead Kennedys, as a matter of fact, Jello Biafra sued the former members of the Dead Kennedys because they ended up using one of the songs for, I believe, a car commercial.
Oh no shit! Yeah.
And he was pissed. He was like, this isn't us. We're not corporate. And he's right. He's right. But
yeah.
I've heard bands like I've heard the songs from the Cult.
The Cult,
being used for car commercials. And they do this because they try to reach the culture, not the culture, the generation
demographic
that is now, or then 30 to 40.
Right.
And it's going to get that, and eventually, it's going to be where you got the newer generation of a lot of the generation today, which is not really punk, it's more emo, which really sucks a dick. Just lame fucking pussy music. I fucking hate emo. There's no comparison to the early 80s hardcore punk rock, the FUs, 7 Seconds, Minor Threat, again, the Dead Kennedys. These are bands that they'd rip your fucking head right the fuck off. These emo bands are like, I'm so sorry I hurt your feelings today. I'm going to go brush my teeth and wash my mouth out with Listerine. Ooh. Now.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry, that's not punk. That's just pussy. Don't cry somewhere else. I don't give a fuck.
Wow. What are your... I see that you're really not opinionated, but what are your thoughts on...
How can you tell?
Well, sometimes that Jersey thing, I get that fucking sixth sense. You know what I mean?
I have
Everybody's
a
got that,
real negative attitude.
yeah, it's like,
I don't
seeing,
give a fuck.
hearing, smelling, tasting. And from New Jersey, the other one's like, go fuck yourself. And it's all in here. What are your thoughts on, and I don't mean to jump in front of Henry. I'm sure he has another question. Um, on like the whole, we discussed this with some other artists as well. The whole fucking AI thing, the fake,
Oh,
the
Uh,
fake music, the fake fucking books, the fucking, you know, you can completely change the way everything is fake now. The way you look, the way they sound. There's, what the fuck? That's, I don't know. I'm like, I,
so
I
what's
don't know.
what's your question?
You know, what's your take on that? How do you feel
Okay,
about all that bullshit?
let me start by saying I saw the Terminator. Um, Secondly, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time until AI. You heard the whole Mecha Hitler thing, right? Did you hear about that?
The whole Mecha Hitler thing?
Oh,
Oh, I must have missed something. Yeah,
yeah.
AI. Look it up.
I'll have to
Mecha,
look it up. Yeah.
Mecha, not Mecca, not Mecca
Okay.
like
Okay.
Islam. Mecca, Mecha, Hitler. So Elon Musk's AI apparently did this thing where, and I cannot explain in detail because I try to stay away from AI. I don't like it one
Yeah.
bit.
No, us too. Yeah.
However, um, Eon, Elon Musk's AI did this thing where it posted it was Mecha Hitler. So what the fuck?
Wow.
Also, um, I have a real problem, as you just said, with the AI uh, changing music, using, impersonating, if you will, for lack of a better term, people who,
Right.
and it's just creating things. It's just a matter of time until something comes out where it fools people, whether it's in America or anywhere, and it says, "Hey, you're under attack," or "Hey, your president or your prime minister just launched an attack on this country." Watch, it's going to get to that point. I guarantee you, we are entering an age of godlike proportions where mankind is playing God,
Yeah.
and I don't like it. I
Yeah.
call me old
Yeah.
school, call me an old fuddy duddy. I don't give a fuck. I don't
hmm
care. I do know that, listen, man, for the last 20 years, I've watched the younger generation of kids go from being outside and playing on their bicycles and playing stickball or baseball or throwing a football or a frisbee to sitting there doing this. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all they do. They
Mhm.
walk
Yeah.
around with their fucking heads down. A fucking UFO could fly over their head and they'd never see it. Um, I don't see, where I live. I don't see any kids outside playing. They're all inside playing Warcraft or whatever the fuck. I'm so I'm so glad to say that I never got hooked on video games. I
Yeah. Me
can't even
either. Yeah.
stand going on the computer. Okay. I'm very bad at promoting myself because I go for like a week without going on the computer. I don't care. I hate it. I can't stand it
Right.
anymore.
Right.
Everything is changing to this digital age, this digital world. People are gonna become unhealthy from not getting enough exercise. In the summertime, you can't get me to stop being outside. I work in my
Yeah.
yard. I go for bike rides. I walk. I don't want to be on the computer. I can't stand it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Well,
and
we.
not to get into a whole other subject, but uh, I will make mention of it now. In 2026, I'm getting off the grid. I'm eliminating my whole Myke Hideous thing. I just did my last show, my last stage
Wow.
performance. I'm done. I don't want. I don't want to. I mean, I'm going to do computer stuff like, go online, but I'm not going to be promoting myself anymore. I'm done. I can't stand it
Wow.
anymore. And as far to answer your question about AI, I humbly believe It is just a matter of time before something terrible happens with it.
Yeah. I think my thing is that from from a performer or music perspective, is that when we did music, there was so much more involved in it because no cell phones, no, you had to go down to the village and put your flyers up, and with like the flyer wars back in the '80s where you fly to someone's fucking band and they fly, so there was a whole thing involved with
DIY.
yeah, but you had to. There was no instant gratification back then,
There wasn't.
and that's the problem is, and it takes away from the anticipation, like
Right.
when you're doing your show.
Let me ask you this. Have you been to a concert lately?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody's in the audience like this.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
watching the fucking band, they're looking at it through their goddamn cell phone. This
Yeah.
is the age of stupidity. Okay? There are some really fucking smart people out there creating these things. But at the same time, I'd say good maybe 50%, if not more, of people are the stupid ones who are putting it to bad use. And by bad use, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
playing games on it and you fucking video recording every fucking, this is what I'm eating for breakfast. Who gives a fuck?
Right. Right.
Like
Yeah.
this generation is gonna crumble. They have no balls. They have no balls. If
No.
something happened, if we were attacked in this country, I guarantee you, every idiot that's out there who can't get enough for TikTok is gonna be dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's
Now you got my blood pressure going.
no. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You want to go take a pill? You'll be all right.
This is full of vodka. Let me take.
There we go. Let's light it up. But it's when we had talked before, Henry and I, and about the difference between when you spun records to just pushing a button and playing your music and digital as opposed to having vinyl, and I think it loses something for me, it loses something in the translation. That instant gratification, or like when you're spinning or when you have your vinyl and you go through your I'm playing my record ritual. Don't fucking stop on the floor. I gotta clean the record. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And now it's just like, oh, I'm gonna put my headphone on and hit my Bluetooth and go about my day. And so I think it takes away some of the meaning. I think for me, and some of how I felt when you did play a record or back in the day, as opposed to what's going on now. Now I appreciate the social media. We certainly do use it for what we do, and I certainly use it as well. But I'm not addicted to it. Whereas every day, I'll go a couple of weeks, I don't post anything, and I'm getting messages from like friends. Are you okay? Like, I'm outside living. I'm riding my motorcycle, or I'm doing something.
Do you remember the time? Do you remember the time when you'd pick up your phone and you dial it to call somebody?
Yeah.
If they weren't home, you left a message on the answering machine.
If they had one.
If they had one.
If they had, yeah.
As a matter of fact, you got a very good point there, because prior to answering machines, when you still had a rotary phone,
Yeah.
when you called your friends, if they weren't home, they weren't home.
They weren't fucking home.
But now, in order to speak to somebody, I have to text message them first. Are you available? Can you talk?
Right.
Like
right.
There's no spontaneity anymore.
No, there isn't, and it's unfortunate because I think there are some good points, but certainly a lot of bad or negative stuff that's happening to people because they're becoming zombies. They really
exactly
are.
What they're becoming.
Zombies.
Yep.
And case in point, I work part time. I'm fortunate enough to I just work a part time gig. So I'm in the little break room, and there's this guy, and he's just like you said on his phone, and there's just one of our little girls talking to him, and I can see in her eyes that she is like into this dude, and he had no effing clue. I'm like, so she finally walks out. I'm trying to be, I don't want to say or do anything, and have an HR moment. So I caught him kind of outside. I said, dude, I said, did you know so and so was just like glaring at you? He goes, no. I said, you're an ass. I said, you guys are young and good looking, and I said, and this girl's just gawking at you like you walk on fucking water, and your fucking dumb ass is fucking texting on your phone.
Yep.
She was 5 feet away from this dude.
That's
You
the
know,
world we're in.
I'm like, holy shit.
There's people that
Not a
I
clue,
know,
dude.
people I know who give me a hard time about the whole, my attitude against AI, as well as computers and cell phones. Um, and if I didn't do the work that I do, I'm a photographer these days. So if I didn't do the work that I do, I promise you, I would not have one of these. I really wouldn't. I was
Yeah,
really hoping to get like a flip phone,
yeah, yeah,
but because I just don't care. I just don't care anymore. I'm at that point. Like I'm just watching our country as well as the world crumble,
yeah.
and
It's all over.
it's all
It's
because
everywhere.
of social media.
Hmm.
It's all because of cell phone cameras and just pure stupidity.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it's affecting not only that per se, but the real artists, the people who put paint to a canvas. It's we had a guy out from Canada who's an artist, graphic artist guy, who got killed with the AI
Of
stuff.
course.
Anthony Noble, to give him a shout out. Yeah, he's been following me since the whole Morning Noise thing started back up again. Great guy. He was kicking ass, doing album covers, doing this, and now he got fucking slaughtered. This guy with AI, but now he's trying to turn it around and actually do paintings, and he's doing like skateboards and guitars and whatever. Because anybody can take his art and click on it.
Yeah.
Fucking there it is.
Yep.
You don't have to do anything.
It's disgusting. It's
You
it's
know.
really anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, off that subject, let's go on to something else. And Henry, I'm sure Henry's got
Well,
another
hold on, because
question.
I got one point I got to make on what
He's got,
disgusted me about the whole AI thing. So I'll just say it real quick. And I saw this advertisement that really pissed me off. They put together a AI song, said, "Here you go. Here's Nirvana." And I heard it, and first of all, it didn't sound anything like fucking Nirvana. And second of all, that band is gone. They were great. I think they were,
Yeah.
but there's no way you're gonna bring that back. And it was true to its word. It was artificial. It was fake.
yeah,
It was not real. But the fact that they were out there trying to market that shit as the new Nirvana and here you go package, no, that really fucking pissed me off. And now I hear there's some shit that I saw. Oh, pick the kind of music you think you would want to do. Oh, type in the genre, type in your lyrics, and we'll put the song together for you.
yes, they will.
No, what? Like really? Like
I'm
what the fuck?
telling you, man. I
I, I,
saw Terminator. I know what's going to happen.
I mean,
I'll be back.
I do a lot of covers on bass on the channel, and they call what do they call somebody like me, the bedroom superstar or whatever, because you just in your room playing. But you know what? It's actually me. I mean, it's covers, but it's actually me playing that bass on there, and sometimes I have fun and I do the skull face thing or what have you, or throw a little Halloween makeup on just to add a visual to it. But I'm really there, you know. So okay, so getting getting back
Getting
to the
back to,
questions. Um,
I think my floaty is getting fucking. The water's getting a little deep in here. I'm trying to swim through all this AI shit right now. It's getting
so
fuck.
I did want to ask about your single that you did with October Noir. Uh, how did that collaboration come about?
Well, we did a single together. the lead singer and bass player Tom, who is the entrepreneur of October Noir. Him and I were in a project prior to that called Momento Morte, and we how do I explain this? We ended up acquiring a song, and we liked it so much that we decided to re-record it and make it sound better. And he was going to release it as a limited edition CD with my vocals, of course, and the band October Noir playing the music. And that's basically it. The song is called The Ages. You can actually get a download MP3 version on my website, MykeHideous.com, provided it's still there in 2026, because I am actually thinking about taking MykeHideous.com down. But on the other hand, yeah, that was the CD that we did, the single, I should say. When it was released, it had the cover was one of an art piece that I did. I'm actually selling it right now, actually. And it also came with a poster of the artwork from the CD cover. Again, my work. We all signed the poster, and anybody who bought it got the CD with the poster. So I love it. I think it's a great song. I don't mean to boast on my own music, but it was a collaboration, and I'm very happy with it. I really am.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, tell us a little bit. This will probably be the last question, and we'll probably wrap it up a little bit after this. Tell us about hideous artwork.
You mean horrible artwork?
Horrible artwork.
Okay, horrible. Sorry, I don't
That's
have my
okay.
glasses on. Horrible
Ho- ho-
artwork.
horrible artwork. Horrible artwork is a name I came up with when I was 13 years old, maybe 14, but I think it was around 13. And I would draw and paint, creepy things, monsters and demons and fantasy and that sort of thing. So I went with the name Horrible Artwork. So I would eventually get into the business of printing my own T-shirts. Um, and the things like Barnabas Collins, the vampire, Elvira, Frankenstein, a couple of originals that I had done, original drawings, and I would make a silk screen, one color, and I would print them on T-shirts and sell them. Um, and as time went by, I would do a few things here and there for other people. People would uh, pay me for consignment. Painting or drawing or whatever it may be. And I did stuff on people's cars. I did stuff on people's guitars. What else? I did a few paintings that people commissioned me for. And now I have a line of T-shirts, throw pillows, throw blankets, some women's clothing, maybe a coffee mug or like what do you call them, mouse pads, all things that I do now under the name Horrible Artwork. Again, on my site, MykeHideous.com, and it's just basically something I've been an artist since I was 13, and as I said, I started out doing the creepy stuff. In 2008, when I retired, so to speak, as a performer, I decided to focus all my efforts on my photography and my artwork. And in doing so, I realized that if I wanted to sell art and not just keep it, I had to create things that were different and not one, how would I say this? Not a single style. In other words, I couldn't just sell images of monsters. So I started doing different things and I began to create other types of artwork. So I've broadened my horizons on the things that I can create artistically as well as photographs. And that's it really. Excuse me. I basically just do artwork and photography.
Oh, cool.
That's
I'm I'm
awesome. Yeah.
I'm about to pick your brain. I bought a camera and it's driving me crazy. But that's a conversation for another time. So, but I think Erie Bond's out this way. I think in Kentucky, and he's still doing art and stuff like that. I'm like, he was another Lodi High School part of the Lodi punk club, so to speak, back in the '80s.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I met Erie through a mutual friend that we had at the time. This guy Mike, who was also a photographer back in the day. I was only 18, 17, 18 when I met them, and I remember before I even started doing music, I'll never forget this. We were at Mike's house and we were sitting in the living room. It's just me and Erie. I don't think he liked me very much. I always think he thought I was a douchebag or something. But I said to him, I said, Erie, I said, can you give me some advice? I want to start up a band. I said, what do you think? What do you, what are your thoughts? What's your advice? It wasn't much, but I never really, like I said, I don't think he really liked me ever. I think he looked. I mean, I'll admit, I was young. I was still finding myself. I was a kid. I didn't have a direction, and I certainly wasn't like them. I mean, he was fortunate enough to be a talented musician and work, get the gig with Glenn Danzig and do Sam Hain, and I respect him for that. But what, I think they kind of looked at me more like this kid from a good family with not a lot of talent or uh, underground knowledge
mhm,
of the underground music
of the
scene.
underground.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, I was just really getting into it at that point, at age between 18 and 22. And by the time I was doing Empire Hideous by 22, 23, I was beginning to find my niche, and I'm grateful that I was able to find it the way I did, and eventually, ultimately being the lead singer for the Misfits, even though it was a short time. That was a huge deal for me because
Mhm.
I was singing for a band that literally inspired me to do music.
Right, right.
And so when I get the opportunity to sing for them, I was like, holy Christmas, but this is like the greatest thing ever. How could anybody not be happy? Anyway, my point is, so yeah, I met Erie back in that day, and I wouldn't say he was an inspiration, but he definitely was some sort of a part in me creating my own music because, as I said, I knew him back in the day. It wasn't
Yeah,
like we were buddies. I did buy a Misfits 45 off of him for $10.
$10.
It was the Night of the Living Dead 45,
40. Yeah, yeah.
and Glenn had just pressed up a couple, and I came, I showed up at his house. I was like, I'd like to buy one of those 45s. He's like, all right, $10. I was like, here's a roll of quarters. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I'm gonna
currency's currency.
I'm gonna skip the arcade at the bowling alley this week. Here's give me the fucking record. Holy shit! Did you by chance happen to know or meet George Germain?
Who is that?
George was a guy. He lived like right across the street. There were some apartments from where the Misfits would rehearse and where they lived. Okay, and George was at the very beginning. Well, I would say some at some point in the beginning, he was involved with them, uh, with some of the guitar sounds, stuff like that. But he didn't play. He was just like a technical advisor, whatever you want to call it.
No,
So this is he was just to me. I was a kid. He was just kind of this menacing like character. He lived in this apartment across the way. So when we started the whole implosion morning noise thing, uh, he was trying to coax or coach me, on what to do on stage. Again, where I'm a kid, and so I'm up there. There was a couple of guitars he had that were on some of the original Misfit stuff that they used his guitar to get that sound. But anyway, long story short, I wasn't sure if you ever met the guy. So I'm playing on one of his guitars. I'm playing two strings, like the two string, do whatever. And he fucking starts screaming at me. He's like, "God, put six strings on that fucking guitar, and you'll play all fucking six. You'll play all six of them." I'm like, "Holy shit!" So I'm like, like terrorized. I was a kid. I was scared to fucking death. But I always say I got a PhD from the George Germain School of Punk Rock with a guitar. Because he fucking, And again, I was, So, but I wasn't sure if he was at that point, when you were involved with
I
them.
never heard of him.
Yeah, and he was like literally right across, the street from where their house was.
Yeah.
So, but that was kind of yeah.
When you say their house, what do you mean? Like the Misfits all live together in one house?
No, like Paul and Jerry and the brothers lived across the yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I know Glenn used to live on Washington Street or Ave or whatever in Lodi. I had a drummer who lived on the same street that he used to live on, and it was a big deal for me to drive down that street to go to George's house, the drummer. And every time we'd go past Glenn's house, you'd see the hearse parked in the driveway. That was our big claim to fame with that.
Big claim, yeah. I like that whole area in Lodi, where I lived. Like my cousin Steve was up the block from me. The Fitz were up the block from me. We were all this little area, and at that time, there was garage bands everywhere. Regardless of I'm not saying the Misfits were garage band per se, but everywhere you went, there was someone playing music. That's what you did. There was if you wanted to hear music, you either put the fucking radio on or you played it your damn self. And so, and that whole area that I grew up in, there was nothing but bands everywhere. But I just happened to live relatively close, and we all went to high school together. Though they were a few years ahead of me. I was the youngest one out of the bunch, but we all were like in kind of an art class together at different points. Even though I was junior to these guys, so that's how I kind of got involved with them. Erie and then Doyle. We were in Mr. Aspel's class. I'm not sure if that man is even alive today. But so we did all our flyers and all our shit and all our photography. We had a dark room back in the day. We did all that shit, at Lodi High School. So that's how all that kind of came to, to be. But I just like I said, I wasn't sure if you had any dealings at all with George, but it scared the fuck out of me. So, but anyway, it was nice having a conversation with you for sure. We appreciate you coming on and shooting the breeze, and it was definitely great having you on our show. I know Henry.
Definitely, Mike. I mean, it was our pleasure. I'm really glad we got to do this, man. It means everything to me. You know what I mean?
Pleasure. Thank you.
So that website is MykeHideous.com.
MykeHideous.com. Mike with a Y. Hideous.com. And on that website, you can also purchase, while they are still available, you can get both physical CDs and downloads as well as T-shirts. And as I said, I got a whole section of horrible artwork designs that I sell. So yeah, if you can get if you're interested, go now, because in 2026 it's probably not going to be there anymore.
Pulling the plug.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, again, we do appreciate you for coming on our show, and don't disconnect. I'm going to stop recording here in a second, and we'll kind of wrap up like an after show thing real quick. But again, guys, we certainly appreciate everybody watching our show. We're bringing you some really, really great guests with some great stories, and from fucking New Jersey. And what are you gonna do? But hey, no, but Henry has been real. He's been working really hard in reaching out to a lot of people to come on our show, and we have a lot more content certainly coming your way, and hopefully, you're more than welcome anytime. You reach out to us anytime you want to come on and we can rant and rave about AI again. That was great. We'll get it figured out. I'm gonna let Henry land the plane, and just hold tight after we shut her down.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Myke Hideous, for being with us. And we will see you in the next video.
See you guys.